to Codemotion Rome. It is now 11 a.m. and 33 minutes in Rome. Here are the next 10 activities. Rust, Avero un moderno linguaggio sicuro, pratico e multithread this Friday at 12:30. Dial 1 to receive more details by SMS, 2 for next activity, and 3 for previous activity. Got it. Sending you more details by SMS. Moving to next activity. Hybrid.
Okay, guys. Hello. I'm so happy to meet you today. I come from France. You will be able to hear that from my accent. Io poi parlare un poco italiano, ma non è facile per me. Then today it will be English. Who's building bots among you? Okay. Bots are fun. It's really fun. And you saw José's introduction, maybe? It's a lot of opportunity for leisure, but also for business. And this talk will be about taking you from zero to understanding how to build a bot. Okay. I've been building bots for about a year. My name is Steve in French. I speak about APIs, but I love coding. Node.js I do a lot, because who does Node.js here? JavaScript? Yeah, a lot of people do it. Then, yeah, I had to learn Node.js. I wasn't a Node.js believer at the beginning. Now I love it. But my first love is Golang. And then, yeah, if you haven't tried Go, try Go one day. I work all around Europe. After this talk, if you want to continue the conversation, just ping me, okay, on Twitter, email, whatever you want. I'm all here to help you discover about bots anytime. Cisco technologies, of course, it's part of my job. I'm on Twitter, and my GitHub handle is also important, because I will show you during this session a lot of examples I've been working on and lessons learned. And this is where everything I code, I put it on GitHub. MIT license. Okay. Then let's go. What's on the menu? Bot. Two things. It's a challenge. We'll have less than 40 minutes to go through voice machines and chatbots. Okay. It's going to be quick. I will try to do demo, some code samples maybe. I have to understand bots. I will use some examples, but everything that I will explain applies to any bot you're going to write. There are a lot of challenges. I will explain them. Some of them are not solved today. Then it will be something we can start working on. That's what's on the menu. And thank you, Enrico, for inviting me to that beautiful restaurant yesterday night. This is an egg. You can eat it. It's food. The corner in Rome. OK, from zero to advanced voice machine. OK, we need to build a voice machine. What is Tropo? We need something to build our voice machine. You can pick any framework that exists out there. I picked Tropo because Cisco is running the Tropo technology. Tropo is cloud APIs. You don't need to install anything on your machine. You create your own code, you deploy it, and you can interact with phones. Then it means you can now start building your own voice machines and sending SMS, receiving SMS both ways. How does that work? It's an API and a SDK at the same time. Then you can either use only the API or go from the SDK part. I like the SDK aspect because the Tropo team has added a few functions to JavaScript, Python, Ruby for all those languages. And when you say ask, you ask something to the user. When you say, it just speaks hello world in any language. 80 language we have, male, females. You can play audio files. If you don't like those synthetic voices, you can play audio files. Okay? And you can also call someone. Imagine now if you need to call 1,000 people, 2,000, all the attendees of Codemotion. Okay, you just create a script with a CSV file, and you just call and say something to all your people. This is automation. This exists today. This company has been working for 8 years, doing business in US, and we are launching Europe at that time. You can send SMS. How easy is it? You just call someone, network SMS. You say again. This time it won't speak, of course. It will text the message. You want to ask a question? What's your favorite color? Choices. And you get the result. Result.value will be the choice. The person chose either by clicking a number or by saying red, blue. 3 lines of code. This is, you can also record conversations. Sometimes you're doing, you hear those voices saying, hey, the conversation is going to be recorded. How do they do that? Oh, record, done. And you can push it to Amazon S3. We don't keep the records. It's all your code. It goes on your file. You keep the data. Okay? Then this exists today. Setting it up is easy. You sign up at tropo.com. You put your script, the code I just gave. You paste it there, or you host it on your website. We fetch it. You pick a phone number, and you save the application, and you're ready to go. Okay? We've got a lab just at the opposite door. In 10 minutes, you'll be able to go through and build your first voice machine. Then now I will assume this kind of technology is well known to everybody, and we'll go to the next steps. The nice part of it, if you think of it, is that by leveraging good frameworks or well-advanced frameworks, you can have global availability straight away from your line of code. It means 2,000 people can be called, 2,000 people can answer the phone and run your code. You can find phone numbers in 42 countries, meaning if some people of you have startups, you can buy numbers. It's about $1 to $6 a month, and you have phone numbers in all countries, and they all redirect to your phone. Hey, and you have to speak 42 language, okay? But that's another story. The good part of it is that for developers, it's free to prototype. Then you can run it, you can test your application. You will pay when you go to production. Of course, if you abuse the system, we'll chase you. You'll be banned. No, it's okay. You can go there, they will take you, and you can start playing. 24/7 hours support for free also. This team is really about developers. It's Jose who created this technology earlier in his days, and still running the technical science for that. When you go to production, of course, you pay per use, pay per minutes, pay per SMS you send. It's a few cents, depending on the country and the local regulation. Then now you can play. That's what I was doing. Let me try to do it again. Then here I'm using a SIP machine called Blink. Does anybody of you know SIP? SIP is voice over IP. Then instead of going through a mobile phone provider, I go through SIP protocol, like an HTTP address, but for voice over IP, and I ping my application. It's not working very well at the moment. That's the reason why I picked Anna's phone. Thank you very much. And you can try it on yourself. You will hear the sessions going on now at Codemotion. What's going on now, what's going next. You can press buttons. You can say, I want to do one, continue. And all this is done through a simple script I will show you now. Then this is my code. Then the main part of it, the most important part of it is this one. Then, yeah, this is it. Ask, what is the current activity? Choices, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. How many attempts? 3. And when if he doesn't choose something, sorry, I didn't receive your answer. Can you guys code that? Maybe it will take you some time to read the documentation. Now, if you go to the example and copy-paste it, can you understand it? Yeah, easy business. It means that you come back home tonight and you build your own voice machine. You call your friends, happy birthday! You'll never forget your mom's birthday anymore, or your sisters or your kids. Okay. Kids is easier. Family, yeah, sometimes it's difficult. Okay. Then, that was really a lot of fun, building the voice machine. Thanks to the Codemotion team. They gave me the JSON data. And on my Twitter account a few days ago, I posted the code to build an API to expose your JSON data so that in real time, you can get the information about what's going on. Then, generally, you start with simple machines, they just interact, and then you go to data. You want to be playing what's going on now. Then your scripts, they need to access data. How do you do that? Through an API, REST API, JSON. And this is what I built to start with. It's there. This address, Codemotion room. Again, go to the Twitter account of Codemotion. You'll find this address. What's going on now? You press it. And I have network connectivity. Then it should respond. Yeah. What's going on now? Yeah, even 30, 11:30. What's going on? What's my session? Learn to beat bots. We're there. Okay. What's going on next? And yeah, this is everything you can do. Upcoming hours. Okay. Then this is just a REST API. You take your script. You go to your data. It can be an event. It can be your enterprise data. It can be sensitive data. Have I closed my deal? What's the current forecast? I don't know, whatever you want. How much money does I have left on my bank account? Good. And then what does it do? You call. You've got a script. It goes to the back end, comes back. Your machine can also do some more advanced stuff. It can fork a call. You're having someone on the phone, and it says, hey, dial 1 to receive an SMS. You dial 1, but the call is still going on. You fork a new conversation. 2 lines of code. Fork call this caller ID, the person that is calling me. I start a new session to the same number. Network SMS. Hey, it's a DevNet quiz. You say whatever you want, and you receive the SMS. Try it with the voice machine. And join the Cisco Labs to learn how to build your own. And now, I told it before, this is what exists today. Where are we going? What are the challenges? I love serverless. I take my script, I push it, it works, all fine. I find 2 difficulties with serverless. Dev cycles. I have to pick my code, push it somewhere. It takes some time to be downloaded, uploaded. And then I have to test it, and if it doesn't work, I have to redo that. Okay. Second stuff is logs, diagnosis. It's complicated because it's running somewhere else, not on your local machine, and you can't debug it. So those are the 2 main hurdles. How do you solve that? Response: you build an emulator. That's what Amazon Lambda, Google Functions, a lot of serverless guys have built. We had none for Tropo till today. And I've started one. It's called the Tropo emulator. You can run and debug locally for JavaScript code. And it's called Tropo Ready project. Okay? It's an easy piece of code, if you think of it. You saw those 20 functions I showed? Ask, say, answer. I just mimicked them in JavaScript. And now you run locally. And you could put a breakpoint there. If you feel interested in growing the project, I'm happy to have contributors. And that's awesome how easy now it can come. You just pick your code and you fix it. I decided to go with Visual Studio Code. How many of you use Visual Studio Code? Yeah. Okay. That's a great platform. I used to do Atom. I loved it very much. All IDEs are good, but Visual Studio Code runs on all my machines, Mac and Windows. It has Node.js integrated, debugger, Git. I don't use Git a lot. I like the command line, not the IDE. But yeah, I can just now go to a file, maybe this file, create an outgoing call, put a breakpoint, and with my interpreter now I can debug my stuff. Then I won't have time to do the demo. Maybe I will do it after. You can join me in the lab, and I will be able to show you how easy it is to add a case number 4. If the people, you don't like my voice, say, what? You don't like my voice? With the current voice, it's a male speaking by default. Let's say, wait, 500, wait a bit, half a second, so that it's not too quick to speak. Then you change the voice to Susan. Oh, I forgot the double quotes there. I had a bug earlier. And then the girl will say, is this better? And the conversation now will speak with a female voice. And if you know how to write Italian, you replace that with Italian, and you take an Italian voice with an Italian accent. Okay, that's the fun. Then, second lesson learned. It's good to have something executing remotely, but you don't know how much what's happening remotely in real time. Then, what's the best way to solve that? ChatOps. What are ChatOps? Everybody doesn't know what ChatOps is? No, okay, everybody knows. ChatOps is pushing a message so that you can read it in real time to your favorite device. WhatsApp. At Cisco, it's Cisco Spark, but you can push it anywhere. It's easy. REST API, post message, contains your token to access the API, and you post a message. And now, in Codemotion, I've got my room that is named Codemotion activity. What's going on? There we are. Okay, then see it here. I've got messages. Spoke the welcome message to, hey, this was my SIP call. It was a name instead of a number. And then here, as people call, I see my flow. Then I see what's going on. Now, what I like to do, I like creating several rooms where to receive messages, several chat rooms. I think it's a good practice. One is just for activity. In there, I can add my marketing people saying, hey, my bot is working good. Do you want to see what's going on? And they can be in the room. I just add them. The other one is more technical. I can debug there. It's very more verbose. Okay, then ChatOps, create several rooms for your different purpose. And it's as easy as adding people to your rooms. No need to share files, passwords, identifiers, anything to a remote system. Then, how to set up ChatOps? Easy. I picked Tropo scripting. I added a library to write to Cisco Spark, and I post message. Then I log to both the local file and my Cisco Spark rooms. One line of code when you've built the library. The library is open source. You can just download it. Spark for log. Then, this is a story about voice. Okay? Easy job. I think we've well covered the subject. Now, chatbots. Chatbots is a different story. It's much more complicated. Easy at the beginning, but much more complicated. Let's talk for the next 20 minutes I've got left, or 15? Okay, let's be quick. I use Cisco Spark. It's your collaboration system. It does ChatOps, but also video. That's interesting. If you want to start a video call, it's free up to 3 users in the video call. And you can download it from your favorite Apple Store, whatever you want. There's an API on top of it. That's what I like as a developer. Otherwise, I wouldn't be there speaking, and I wouldn't have a job. The first bot I built, I want to drive you from zero to bots. Then the first bot I built was this simple bot. I can go to any room. Then here it's the activity room. And I can add a bot, add people. The name is the room ID bot. Then sit there. It's here. Now I've got the message. You added the room ID bot to this space. And the fun part is, hey, the room ID bot left the space. He went away. Okay, just coming and leaving. And what is he doing? It's creating a new room. And in there, it gives me some information about my previous room. I call it the phantom bot. You know, you don't want to disturb everybody. You just want to sneak, pick some information, and leave. That's a lot of fun. Then, check the code on GitHub. You will see it's 3 lines of code. Again, because you create a framework. Then what is a bot at the end? It's nothing more than an API that responds to events. A few lines of code with a good bot framework. What means good? It depends on your need. There's no good frameworks. There are different frameworks. That's what I will show you with different capabilities. Then, bot on command hello, for example, hello. You create a function. It takes the person email, because this is the ID in Cisco Spark, it's the email, and then says hello, the person email to the person. And here I add a mention, so that it will sneak, the guy will receive a notification. You've been held by the bot. Okay? To do that, I created a very simple bot framework, saying receiving events, posting, doing all this logic. But we've got also community framework in the Spark, in the Cisco Spark area. Then you've written your bot. Next step is to deploy it. You know how to deploy a web app or a web API? No difference. You pick your bot, you publish it, and you tell Cisco Spark, where is it? So that Cisco Spark starts sending emails, and then you talk back to Cisco Spark to write messages. As easy as that. When you're in an enterprise, you're behind a DMZ, then you will receive messages through a channel. You will create a reverse proxy here and push your stuff. My favorite current reverse proxy is Caddy for the Go lovers. It's programmable. It says it starts very quickly. Nginx and anything you like will work too. And the box talks back. You open the port so that it can talk back to Cisco Spark. And now I'm a developer. When I'm coding, I don't want to push it. I want real-time information. How do you do that? You need to create a tunnel. Expose your machine on the internet so that you can go straight to your code on your local machine. The good way. We've got a friend. It's not a bot. I can. Oh, we'll see. How does he behave? Can he learn? Wow, that's nice. I like it. Tunnels. Just install a tunnel on your machine and you've solved your stuff, and you can have this real-time experience without needing any emulator to go remote. We've got a lab on that in the room, just in front of you. Then, now, let's talk about the bot experience. How do you create an awesome bot? And what are the difficulties? I took the example of the bot contest you have for Codemotion. You just invite a bot to the room like I did. You add the quiz bot. And you can win an iPhone 7 if you answer well, but the best part is when you will experience the bot. Then the quiz bot, first thing you'll see is when he arrives, it tells you something. This is the first good practice. You want to give some information about how people are going to interact with you as an app without reading any manual. Then welcome message. Mandatory when you build a bot. I see, I'm part of a team that reviews bots before we push it to Cisco Spark Depot. It's our marketplace for bots. I see a lot of bots that don't have any welcome message. Okay, I hope that in Roma, every bot will have a welcome message. This bot you're using, just for you to know, it's been Luca Calabres who built it. He's a Cisco partner. And it's in Java, it's on PostgreSQL, webhooks it uses, Amazon it's deployed where, and this is what the code is. Okay. For the other examples, I have them in JavaScript and other languages. But if you want Java, if you want to try that bot, just deploy the code by yourself. Then, you want to help the user, you add an help command. I type help, I have what the bot can do. Next. Now, remember the API? Now I take my bot, I go to the API, and I say, what's going on now? As easy as I'm creating a room, talking with a quiz bot. I chat with the bot, and I ask him, now. And the bot says, what's going on now? Oh, it's not now. Learn about the upcoming event at Codemotion. Then, that's interesting. This is not on purpose, but I like it, because it's part of the next slides. What's happening now? Then, enhance your user experience. Welcome message, help. The next is the fallback command. What if someone wants to say bonjour to the bot? They say, hey, I don't understand. And this is what I know. Okay? One line of code to add to your bot. Then, next is, you want to have conversations. What if the user didn't provide you all the details? Then here is a bot. I bought it on Slack. I use the BotKid Framework. I say about. The bot says, what about what? What is the event you're interested in? And before, he gave me some information with a list of 6 events. Then I say 6. And he says, hey, this is what's going on. Oh, it was about Codemotion Milan. Conversations. And then you need to store the context. Then this one is the same framework, BotKit, but on Cisco Spark now. And it does the same. You can say about to, and you have a context. Okay. Then what's the story here is you have to implement all that all by yourself, or you use a framework again. Good point is that a lot of people love open source, and they've put some framework out. It turns out that a lot of people, like the bot developers, they love to create their own bot framework because it's a function. You just answer, and you've created your bot. It's as easy as that. But when it comes to building more advanced bots, the first one is BotKit, pretty well-known bot framework, because it turns with multiple messengers. And at the end of the day, it's the same kind of code. You hear a message, you say something, or you hear, and you say, OK, they all look the same. But they don't have the same functionalities. They don't provide the same services for you. Okay? Then this is an example of what we have for Cisco Spark. If you go to any other platform, just check what the framework can do and choose the right one, because you won't be able to do the same thing. Flint, in the Cisco Spark community, is very good at the Spark API. He understands very well the kind of events. It has and very good coding practices, how to handle exception. What if my remote API doesn't respond? You need to retry. You need to have a timeout. Does your bot framework do that? Generally say, oh, I failed. You don't want that experience for your users. You better wait a second and then answer, hey, this is what's coming. And if after 10 seconds you have no answer, you say, hey, sorry, I couldn't help you. This is built in Flint. Rate limitation. So that if your bot sends too many requests sometimes to an API, it will be banned. Then you want it inside your code to have it easy not to send too many requests to the various service providers. you're using. BotKid, it's very good about conversations. I think it's the best value of, and the cross-platform aspect. Only one limitation, it's not. The formatting of the message is different from Cisco Spark to any platform, WhatsApp and Messenger. Then you will have to rewrite some part of your code, but the code structure, the logic, will stay the same. Now, let's face the difficulties. Everything I showed for bots for now, it's resolved, but some points are not solved yet. Who created the bots? Congratulations. What is the usage policy? What does that mean? Can I use it? Is it free? Is someone paying for it? How can I contact the support? Give feedback because it doesn't work. I have some ideas. What about my data? I'm putting some data in there. Photos, sending things. Well, how are they using it? You can't say when you meet the bot. Then I propose we create a standard and we add an about command to all bots. We just have to decide it. Today. About. And then it says author, devnet. Where is the code? I wanted to push my code, okay? The code, you can find it there. If you see the code, you'll see I don't do something bad. The description, what it does, and extra information, you can put whatever we want. We just have to design it together. The session will be a bit short for the design, but we can talk right after. Then what if your bot is down? This is a typical conversation we have at Cisco. Hey, is it down? No, I don't know. Marcello built it, he should know. Oh, maybe we are doing something with DNS, I don't know what. Okay, because it's an inside room, we know the guy, but for the whole community, what's going on now? How can you know that for a bot? Anybody has a solution? There's no standard, nothing has been defined. It's a 404. The 404 for bots has not been defined. Is it up? We don't even have a 404, we don't know what's happening. It could be 500, 404, all those codes. Then, 2 steps I think we need to do. First, you should add an health check systematically to your bot. An health check is a ping. I can ping my bot and it can answer. This should be by default in all bots and all bot framework. Then you know you have a URL, and when you hit the URL, you have some information. Congrats, your bot is running, that's what I write. Since when is it running? What does it do? No sensitive information, just it's a machine, it's Cisco DevNet who created it. Okay, just basic information. Next, we need to register those bots, because if it's down, I can't request him some information. Then we need a registry. Remember when we had those CD? We used to go to CDDB, the CD database. This is where I would get my covers. I would get information about the songs for my CD. Okay, this is my registry, my yellow pages. We need one for bots. Where is it? Any platform for everybody. It will do what messengers, chat services are supported, health check, where is it? What's the author? What is the policy usage? More metadata, whatever we want, we put there. Standard one and extra ones. I have reserved the chatbot.land domain. Chatbot.land. It was just available. Then, who wants to create that? Let's create this standard all together. What I mean here is that bot is starting. The bot industry is just starting. It's not a mature area. Maybe in a few years from now, you say, hey, this is standard. It's not the case today. Okay, now we need to host the bot, to deploy it. So, as usual, availability, security, quotas. who's willing to pay for that? Most bots are free. Do you want to pay for a bot that is going to help you on an everyday basis to know what are the next sessions? I'm not sure. Then I've been looking for the best way to host my bot. I suggest you start with HeroQ, 3D nodes. They run for 30 minutes, and then they sleep. Then you call them, and they take 30 seconds to wake up. But it's OK if your bot is not critical. All bots I showed today are on HeroQ. Then you have the cloud providers' free plans. But I've been testing serverless lately, functions. I was part of the Google Functions beta program for a year. It has been released last week, I think, at Google Next. The good thing, I think, with serverless is that you can have 2 million invocations per month for free in the cloud plan. I think that when I will have 2 million calls to my bot, I'll be pretty happy. And I will be able to pay 40 cents for the next 1 million invocation. Wow, I'm agree for that. How does it write? How is it complicated to write this kind of bot? Pretty easy. You take your piece of code, you add a Google function, it takes request response, and you export it. Don't forget to add an health check. And in front of my check, I have added here a short authorization to secure it. Okay, 10 lines of code, and you've got your bot framework ready. You deploy it with this command line. How much memory, HTTP trigger, where do I deploy it, what is the entry point, the Google function I add there. That's what I export. And what is the timeout? Yeah, it's 1 million calls, but it's built by 100 milliseconds. Then you have to cut the bot. Then don't forget to put a timeout so that it doesn't eat too many of your units. Then, to sum it up, pick the bot coding best practice. Choose the best hosting approach for your bot. Monitor your bot activity. Chat-ops or maybe analytics would be good. Bot analytics, I don't see a lot yet, no, neither. Then we can create something. And think, NLP is another story, natural language processing. My personal view is that we don't need it all the time. Like, I'm not feeling good today. Oh, what do you mean? Oh, I think it's about a feeling. Or I don't know if my bot wants to speak natural language. He will speak naturally, but he can expose the command I have. And if I do it, there's a lot of strategy to implement it on your own, in your own code, rather than going to a third-party device. We've got a conference called DevNet Create in May. Nick Maris is the creator of the Flint bot framework. He will give a talk about how to create your own natural language processing engine that runs locally in your bot. It will be a great session. My last, what I would love is bots to have artificial intelligence. I would like my bots to learn. Who are my followers? For example, Twitter followers. Whenever I have a new follower, I would like my bot to come to me and say, hey, go and see him and say, oh, yeah, this guy comes from Italy. I met him on Codemotion. I can add some extra information. And then the bot would remember, and then he would classify. He would give me extra information. It can learn. It can be incremental learn. There's a lot of areas where we can build new stuff. If you want to learn more about bots, we've got labs. Don't forget to take the bot contest. It's fun, and the code is good too. And we have a session this afternoon about video calls, how to add video to your applications through a very simple framework, doing chat, all that. All day you can go today to the labs. We are here to help. And tomorrow we'll have a microservices session. Thank you very much.